Hi, my name is Timothy Olyphant, and I feel splendiferous about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
It's not a word. Doesn't exist. Let me tell you something.
First of all.
Oh, yeah?
And this is a compliment to you.
No, when people say that, it never is. Like, your face isn't as wide as it is tall.
That is a word, right?
What?
Splendiferous.
Is it? I don't think so.
Is it a word?
I doubt it.
Hold on, motherfuckers. Because the only reason I know this word is because Elvis Costello said it about this. That was his answer.
Yeah, but that's Elvis Costello.
Which means you weren't listening.
No, but I'm not going to correct.
It's all a blur to you, isn't it?
I'm not going to correct Elvis Costello.
Oh, but me.
Yes, you. Because you and I have beef that goes back a long way.
That's true.
The last time you were on the podcast, you were disrespectful. You disrespected not just me, but the whole form of podcast.
I remember it differently. Memory is not a reliable narrator.
You did random ads yourself for, I believe, made-up products just to try and get money.
Keep it up. I'll break them out now.
No, please. I forget. One of them was a tennis.
You brush your teeth?
I do brush my teeth.
How about those quips?
They're just going to send you a free quip. You're not going to get any cash.
I realized this morning I could use one.
Those are handy.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened on the podcast. First of all, let me say thank you for having me back.
Of course.
Thank you for having me on the first time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it didn't go well.
What are you talking about?
I think my own brother called me and said, I learned nothing and way too much. That was his
I will tell
response
you,
to our first go around.
Okay. I'll tell you this, and Adam Sachs, you can weigh in. I'm quite certain that your podcast, your first podcast, one of the most beloved by fans.
Oh. Universally, every so often online, every few months, there's a message board that's like, list your favorite Conaf episodes. Every single time there's a list made, yours is in the top 5.
Well, I thank you both for telling me that. And let me just special message to those people. Prepare to be disappointed.
No.
Go ahead, Conan. Hit me with your first question. What do you want to know?
I want to know.
I texted you the other day, and I really want to. This is important, and for the listeners.
Yeah.
I want this to be more about you and your performance. This is not about me right now.
Okay.
So ask good questions.
Okay.
Because you know what I mean?
You did text me yesterday and said, please ask me good questions.
You threw the first shot by saying we would meet up later for drinks or dinner and that it would be fresh, the podcast would be fresh in your mind and you would judge me.
Yeah, I'll judge you on your performance.
How's it going so far?
We're at a solid C-.
What?
Let me tell you something. This thing is killing it already. I can just tell.
You feel it, right? There's an energy.
No, that's an aneurysm. I'm first of all, you're a delightful fellow, and we are friends in real life. Mm-hmm. So much so that I have this guy that works for me who's well known to my fans, Jordan Schlansky, and I taped a segment with him recently. And we put it out on the internet, and he has this moment where he's just furious with me that I didn't keep him employed after we fully employed. I pay him half salary because there was nothing to do when the late night talk show stopped until we start the next project. And he's furious that he's only getting half the money to do nothing. And I start to defend myself, and he says, "What are you doing anyway?" And then he says to me with this contemptuous sneer, "You have your dinners with Timothy Olyphant." And I swear to God, I've been hearing from so many people who love that line. That's what's in. I mean, Jordan is jealous, deeply, deeply jealous of our friendship. You know that.
Well, I know it now.
And I think a lot of people
I sat through patiently while you told that story, and now I know.
Did that go on a little long?
We all sat... I don't know. Ask the listeners. Is there a chat board somewhere?
No, we can't afford that.
How have you been?
We're going to do this for real. Okay.
I haven't seen you in a while. Well, we haven't talked in a while.
You were busy. You were shooting projects. You were in Wales, I believe, for a while.
I was.
What?
I was in Wales. I found myself in Wales.
Were you not in Wales?
No, I was in Wales.
Okay. You were in Wales shooting some project.
The kids have left what they commonly referred to as empty nesters. That's what we are. And so now, I just turn to my wife and say, hey, you want to go to Wales? And then I say, all right, I'll take it. I'll take the job.
You'll take the job.
Yeah, if she's up for going.
Wales
is lovely.
Your wife, beautiful.
Let me tell you about Wales.
Oh, okay. I was about to say something nice about your wife, but you cut me off to talk about Wales.
Well, you took so much time with that last story. I feel like people need a break.
It was not a story. That wasn't a story. I was relating to you how you have impacted my life recently in a Jordan remote. So I didn't think that was a waste of time.
When you're in Los Angeles, you feel like Los Angeles is the center of the world. And when you're in New York, you feel like New York is the center of the world. And when you're in Wales, you're like London is the center of the world.
Not a lot going on there?
You know what, though? Good people, fun to hang out and get drunk with.
Yeah.
And then get in fights. It's a lot like my childhood. Modesto and Wales, they have more in common than you'd think.
Yeah, Modesto, pretty tough place to grow up.
The mean streets of Modesto.
Yeah.
I grew up on a mayonnaise farm.
Good crop this year, huh? I love that mayonnaise baking out there in the sun on the old mayonnaise farm.
You betcha.
Tim,
yeah. What else you want?
I'm going to tell you something.
What do you got?
I can't relate to you because Liza and I are not empty nesters yet. You are because you and Alexis had children when you were still in your 20s. You had your kids.
That's kind of you to say, but that's not. I think we were 30.
I think you were in your 20s.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you something else. Mm-hmm. I have a very different scenario. My children were born when I was in my 60s.
Yeah.
And as a result, and now they're in their 40s.
Yeah.
Do the math. I'm just saying, you're such a young, free guy.
Yeah.
And you've got these very cool kids who are adults now.
They're young adult. Yeah, that's what I'd call them. And I got to be honest with you, because I thought throughout their childhood, I thought we had a good chance they'd grow up to be average. And
you told them that often, right?
Yeah.
That's a good thing to tell a kid.
Put a lot of pressure on them.
Just before you turn out the light.
I was like, honey, I think you got a good shot at just growing up to be average. And you can move to Canada and have a nice life.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
What's wrong with average?
Exactly. That's what I told him.
Yeah.
And but I gotta say, I feel like they might be above average. I'm enjoying them. You know what I mean? Now that now that they're a little older. I'm impressed. And I say to my wife, I said, you did a good job. Thanks for raising those kids.
Yeah, where were you the whole time?
Show business. You know what I mean?
Well,
I had to go act and and take naps in my trailer. I took a lot of jobs for the nap time.
Did you bring your family to set much on? First of all, you can't have kids around on the Deadwood set. Every other word is motherfucker and cocksucker. Right. You can't have kids around.
They came out once. I've told this story, but they came out once. Mm-hmm. They were quite young when we did that show. Once that I remember, and ran around and one day I was about to head off to work. It was breakfast. They were all sitting around, and I was like, God, I gotta go fucking work. And then I thought, I don't want to place this burden on them. That hate going to my job. So I stopped, like it was a teachable moment, and said, actually, guys, I really do enjoy my job. It's sometimes it's hard to leave, right? But I love my job. Mm-hmm. And I said, taking him a step further, I said, you know what I love about my job? And my son goes, the mud.
There's a lot of mud in Deadwood.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
I said, yep. I just tried to press forward, by the way. I thought, no, yes, but also. And my daughter says, the horses? And I said, that's it. I'm leaving. The mud and the horses.
Pretty sweet gig, though.
They kind of get it. I guess that in a way they're right.
You know what I'm noticing about
average,
you?
how are your kids doing?
No, you don't. Listen, I had a whole thing in mind. I have all these questions.
Oh, do you?
And I haven't seen my kids in years. There's various reasons for that.
But you have your agent call once a week, tell them you love them.
Well, actually, no. My manager calls. My manager then checks in with the kids, calls my agent, who calls my business manager.
There it is.
Who then calls the accountant.
Yeah.
And then I'm told that the children are well. They're nourished, and they think well of their father.
That's nice. So, and the lie gets relayed back to you by who?
Well, naturally, that would be the agent and the manager. They're the ones that really lie.